Hello and welcome to my channel Crochet and Copy. My name is Judy. Today I'll show you how to make this cute summer bag. In my previous tutorial I showed you how to make the purse decoration or embellishment. Today I'm going to show you how to make the cute summer bag and how to sew on your purse decoration. But first let me show you the purse measurement, and then next I'll show you the supplies we need. So our measurements of our bag is from the bottom of our bag to the top of our bag. It's about 9 inches, and that's without the handles of our bag measurement. And then if we do it across, I would say about you get 10 inches. And then for the bottom of the bag, you get about, from that end to this end, you get about 7 inches. So that's the measurement of our bag when it's completed. So this is the information regarding the yarn that we're going to use. It's from the Lily. It's the original sugar and cream. It's 4 medium 100% cotton, and the color is Acru. It's a beige color. The size is 1 pound, 454 grams, and we got the nice big size so that we make sure that we have enough yarn, because we're going to be working with 2 strands together for this project for the bag throughout to make it nice and sturdy. So that's why we got the nice big yarn to make our project. So let me show you the other supplies we need. So these are the other supplies we need to make our cute summer bag. The hook size that we're going to be using is the USJ10. It's the 6 mm. And our scissors, our yarn needle, our stitch marker, and of course 2 of our handles. And in the previous tutorial video I showed you how to make our purse decoration or embellishment. So today in this video I'm going to show you how to sew it on to our purse. I'm using the regular thread with a regular sewing needle. In the previous video that tells you what I use. So the color that I'm using, I'm just going to tell you, is this color is an eggshell color, and that's to match the actual yarn that I'm using. So let's get started in making our cute summer bag. Our project called for us to work with our 2 yarns together as one. And this is to make our bag nice and sturdy. And we're going to start off with an adjustable ring. This is the way I learned to do the adjustable ring. There's many ways of doing it, but please feel free to do it the way you're comfortable. I take the yarn, I drape it over my 2 fingers, and I let it fall in the back. I take my hook and I put it between my 2 fingers, and I yarn over and I pull up. So now I have a tail, a circle, and a loop of yarn on my hook. Although you see 2, remember we're working with 2 of them as one. And to work with the adjustable ring, we're going to do 1 chain. So this is the way you do the chain. Yarn over your hook and you pull through. And there you go. So now we could start working that first round. First round called for us to put 6 single crochet into our adjustable ring. So the first one, how you do it is you go into your adjustable circle, yarn over, pull up. So now you have 2 loops of yarn on your hook, yarn over 1 more time, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops that you had. And that's your first single crochet. Since we're going to be working in a spiral for this bag, we put our stitch marker into our first stitch right there, and we close it up. And this is to help us remember where we start our row. So I'll do a few with you so you can see it. So we're going to go into our adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up. You have 2 strands of yarn on your hook, yarn over 1 more time, and you pull through those two. Remember, it's going to be sturdy to do. I'll show you another time. Back down into your adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, and pull through. So keep on working with this pattern, and then when you get your 6, I'll meet you there and show you what to do next. So now we have our 6 stitches. I'll show you how to count them. Stitch markers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember to keep a track of how many stitches you have for each round. So to close up our adjustable ring, what we're going to do is pull the tail tight. And that's completion of round 1. So you have 6 stitches. So now take out your stitch marker. And for round 2, the pattern is we're going to put 2 single crochet into each stitch, and then at the completion of round 2 you have 12 stitches. So where we took our stitch marker, go into that stitch. It's going to be a little tight as you see working with, because we're working with 2 strands of our yarn. So you're going to yarn over and pull up. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through, and then put your stitch marker back in so we don't lose our spot, and then back into that same stitch we go down, yarn over, pull up, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. So you have 2 stitches in our first single crochet that we did from round 1. So now next stitch, go into that stitch, yarn over, pull up, and then yarn over, pull through, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through. So keep on doing that for round 2. In each stitch around, you put 2 single crochet into each stitch, okay? And I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So for the completion of round 2, you have your 12 stitches. Take out your stitch marker. For round 3, we're going to put 1 single crochet into our first stitch, and then put your stitch marker back in. So the pattern for round 3 we're going to follow is we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch you're going to put 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. So that's the pattern, 1, 2, 1, 2. And remember to keep a count of your stitches so you don't lose your spot. So the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet. So that's 1, back down into that same stitch, and 2. Next stitch, just 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch, 2 single crochet, and 1 more, and there goes 2. So keep on following that pattern as you go along in each stitches, and for the completion of round 3 you have your 18 stitches. So I'll meet you back at your stitch marker. Keep on working. So for the completion of round 3 you have your 18 stitches. Now take out your stitch marker. For round 4, what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 single crochet into our first stitch, put your stitch marker back in, and for the next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet, yarn over and then pull up, then yarn over, pull through. So for the pattern of round 4 you're going to do 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches, and then the second will be the 3rd stitch. You will do 2 single crochet. So yarn over, pull up, that's 1, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up. So that's the pattern, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and the next stitch you will do 2 single crochet into that stitch. And for the completion of round 4 you should have your 24 stitches. So I'll do one more set with you. So 1 single crochet, next stitch, just 1 single crochet, and for the next stitch 2 single crochet, yarn over, pull up, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up. So again, remember the pattern is 2 single crochet, and then in the third stitch you will put 2 single crochet. So at the completion of round 4 you need your 24 stitches. So keep on working, I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 4 you have the 24 stitches. So now take out your stitch marker for round 5, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in. And the pattern for round 5 is we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and that's 3. And the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet. So 1, back down into that same stitch, and that's 2. So the pattern, remember, is 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochet. So for the completion of round 5 you're going to have your 30 stitches. So I do one more set with you. Yarn over and then pull up. So that's 1, yarn over, pull up, 2, and 3. The next stitch you're going to do 2 single crochet. It's 1, back down into that same stitch, 2. So keep on working with that pattern, and I meet you when we get back to the stitch marker. So for the completion of round 5 you have your 30 stitches. Round 6, take out your stitch marker, and into that first stitch we're going to put 2 single crochet. So that's 1, but don't forget to put your stitch marker back in. So 1, and then back into that same stitch, 2. So the pattern is for the first 3 we're going to put 2 single crochet, and then the next stitch we'll put 1 single crochet, and the next 1 single crochet. So let's do it. So that was 1, so 1 single crochet, back into that same stitch, 2 single crochet. Next stitch, 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet. So that's it. So the first 3 you have 2 single crochet, and the next 2 stitches 1 single crochet. So that's 1, next stitch, 1 single crochet. So remember, you will have 1, 2, 3 stitches will have 2 single crochet. The next 2 stitches will have 1 single crochet. So that's the pattern we're going to follow for round 6, and with the completion of that you have your 48 stitches. So keep on working around, and I meet you back at the stitch marker. So for the completion of round 6 you have your 48 stitches. So now round 7, take out your stitch marker, and that first stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet. Put your stitch marker back in. And the pattern for round 7 and 8, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So you should have your 48 stitches for those 2 rounds. So at the completion of round 8 you should have your 48 stitches. So I just do a few with you, and I meet you at the end of round 8. So just keep on working around, and remember 1 single crochet into each stitch. So now with the completion of round 8 with our 48 stitches, this is what I like to do. You don't have to do this. I turn it around, and I have put my yarn into my yarn needle, and what I'm going to do is just weave it in. You don't have to do this since we only have a little bit of tail. You have to be careful. And then I just go and I weave it in. I put it into the little stitches here. So I just hide it a little bit as best as I can. this is what I do. You don't have to do this. Because it's going to be very tight to pull through. So that's with your yarn needle and our yarn. Just to, I don't like it showing when it's in my bag. So you're going to pull tight, because remember it's the 2 strands that you're working with. And this is just to hide it from view. So you could weave it in as much as you can, and that's what I like to do. But like I said, you don't have to do this. I just want to show you how the back turned out, or the inside of the bag I should say. I just took my scissors and trimmed it off, so that's how it looks. Okay, so we're going to start round 9. For round 9, take out your stitch marker, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in. So for the first 5 stitches, we're going to put 1 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now for the next stitch, what we're going to do, we're going to put 2 single crochet. 1, 2. So that's the pattern you're going to do for round 9. So remember, 5 stitches, just 1 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have 1 single crochet. The next stitch will be 2 single crochet. So that's the pattern, and the completion of round 9, you should have your 56 stitches. So keep on working with that pattern, and I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 9, you have your 56 stitches. So round 10, take out your stitch marker, and we're going to do 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in. So the pattern is, we're going to put 1 single crochet into the first 6 stitches. So that's 1 we did. And this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1, 2. So the pattern is 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 stitches, you will have 1 single crochet. In the 7th, and here you will do 2 single crochet. So that's the pattern. So keep on working around till you get back to the stitch marker, and for the completion of round 10, you need to have 56 stitches. So I'll meet you there. Keep on working. For the completion of round 10, you have your 64 stitches. So now round 11, take out your stitch marker. For that first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet, but let's put our stitch marker in when we complete that first stitch. So now back into that same hole, that same stitch, you're going to do another single crochet. So there you go, you have 2 single crochet, and for the remainder of the stitches, all you're going to do is just put 1 single crochet. So for the completion of round 11, you're going to have 65 stitches. So just 1 single crochet now. So that's just the pattern. Just for the first stitch, you put 2, and then the following, only 1 for the rest. So 65 is your total at the round 11. So I'll meet you there. Keep on working until you get back to the stitch marker. So for the completion of round 11, you have your 65 stitches. Now for round 12, take out a stitch marker. What we're going to be doing now is called the back post single crochet stitch. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be first, before we were going in here to do our single crochet, now we're going to go to the top of our work here where the stitches are showing on the top, and the front is considered here and the back is the one here. So it's the post we're going to go. So for this one, we're going to do one single crochet back post only into each stitch around. So you should complete round 12 with your 65 stitches. I do a couple with you so you can see. So the back post only. So the work is like up facing you now. And this is the back post. And put your stitch marker back in. So I do a couple with you so you can see it. So it's the back post of our work we're working with. And it's just one in each stitch around, so you should have your 65 stitches again for the completion of our round. So back post only. Remember, it's the top and it's the back. Do one more with you. Back post only. So keep on doing that around, and remember it's only the back post only, so it will be up here and that one. So you should have your 65 stitches at the completion of round 12. So I'll meet you there at the stitch marker, so keep on working. So for the completion of round 12, you have your 65 stitches. You did it in back post, so this is how it looks around when you did the back post. So now for round 13, all we're going to do is do one single crochet into each of our stitches we did. So you should have your 65 stitches again, because we're just putting one single crochet into each stitch around. So put your stitch marker back in. So remember, round 13 is just one single crochet into each stitch. So keep on working to get back to your stitch marker, and I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 13, you have your 65 stitches. Now round 14, we're going to do, the pattern is one single crochet into our first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in. And for the next stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to spike our stitch. So where we were going was here, but for the next stitch, we're going to actually go down here in the previous row that we did. And that's what a single crochet spike will be. So go down here, yarn over, pull up, and then yarn over and pull through. So that's your first spike. So that's the pattern we're going to do for round 14. You're going to do one single crochet, and then you're going to do a spike. I do a couple with you so you can see what it looks like. So the next one will be a regular single crochet. Then we're going to do the spike single crochet. So not up there, but go down here. And then pull through those two loops. So I do one more set with you so you can see. So up here, it's a regular single crochet. Then we're going to spike it we're going to put it down here. On over, and then you're going to pull through to a few loops. So the next one would be a regular, and then you do the spike in here. So you're going down into the previous row. So just keep on following that pattern around for around 14, and remember, you're still going to have your 65 stitches. So when you finish that row, I'll meet you here at the stitch marker. Keep on working around. So for the completion of round 14, you have your 65 stitches. And just a reminder to help you along with our project moving forward. Whatever stitch you started the row with, like row 14, we started with a single crochet, so we're going to end off with a single crochet. So for row 15, take out our stitch marker, and the pattern for round 15 now is, we're not going to go into that stitch we just took out a stitch marker from, but we're going to spike it. So we're going to go down here into this stitch down there. All right, and it's just a regular single crochet. And put our stitch marker back in. So now when you complete round 15, you're going to have to finish off with the spike single crochet, and that's how you know you completed that row with the 65 stitches, because with all our rows we're going to have the same stitches now moving forward with our bag moving up. So the next stitch will be a regular single crochet, and the next will be the spike. So you go in here, and a regular right up top, and the spike will be here. So now moving with round 16 all the way up to 43, this is the pattern we're going to follow. We're going to repeat round 14 and 15. So it's going to be, you're going to constantly repeat in those two rows, 14 and 15, 14 and 15. So just jot down where you're at with the rows so you keep a track of them, and then what I'll do, I'll meet you at the finishing of 43 with the stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next. But keep on working around till you get all those stitches with the rows with the 65. So for the completion of round 43, this is how the bag turned out. And you have your 65 stitches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take out our stitch marker, and now for round 44 we're going to do 9 single regular crochet. So for the first one, make sure you put your stitch marker back in. So it's just 1 single crochet into the first 9 stitches. So just keep on working around till you get 9 stitches. So we have our 9 stitches. So now what we're going to do is put our bag handle, and we're going to do 16 single crochet around our bag handle. So you just line it up. I'll just show you what you do is line it up as best as you can, and then we're just gonna do the single crochet around the handles that we have. That's our first one. So we're going to do 16 around the handle. And this is to help hold the handle in place. Just going slow so you can see what I'm doing. With this purse handle, it has this middle part, the bar, that makes it a little easier for you to work around with your crochet hook and the yarn, because we're using the double yarn together. So make sure you do 16, and then I'll meet you at the end. So I also wanted to show you that the bag handle at this time can slide, so it makes it a little easier for you to get in your 16 stitches. So just maneuver it, that it goes there, because it was like, how can you put 16, but you snug the stitches together first, and then you get your 16 in there. So now we completed putting on our first bag handle. What we're going to do is put one single crochet into the next 16 stitches. So we're going to go right close to the bag handle. So it's a little kind of awkward for the first one. So it's just one regular single crochet into the next 16 stitches, and that would take us to where we put in the next bag handle. So keep on working. Meet you at the 16 stitches. So we completed a regular single 16 crochet. So now our next bag handle. And we're going to do the same as we did for the first one. Put 16 single crochet around the bag handle. So that's one. Two. And that's three. Remember, it moves, so you could adjust it, so you could work with it better, because you need to put 16 stitches around the bag handle to keep it nice and sturdy. So keep on working, I'll meet you there. So now we completed putting on our second handle with our 16 stitches around. So now we're going to do 8 single crochet till we get to our stitch marker, and that will be the finishing of our row that we were doing, and that's row 44. So that's 1 and 2. So just keep on working till you get right here before the stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next. So now we completed all the way to back to our stitch marker with our 8 stitches. So what we're going to do now is we're going to finish off our work by cutting our tail. We're going to give it a nice tail so we can weave it in. I'll show you how to do that. So after you cut the tail, nice size tail, so we could weave it in, pull all the way up. Come. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to take my yarn needle, and I'll show you how I weave it in to the top. Okay, so have my yarn needle with our yarn. What we're going to do is the stitch marker that we're in, we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go into, like we're going to do another single crochet into that stitch. then you could take out your stitch marker. We're going to go back into that stitch that our yarn is coming from, and we're going to go into the top part of it with the like the back post, and we're just going to pull it. We're trying to make it even as we can, give it another actual stitch. There you go. And then we could keep on weave it in, hiding the tail as best as you can, and also to keep it snug so it doesn't come out. So I'm just going to keep on weaving in, and with this pattern it's good you could weave it in because it has the different parts that, because we weave it inside our bag, we put it inside where we worked. So I just show you how it looks from the outside. So we made another stitch across the top. Okay, so just keep on working by hiding your tail, and then when you finish you cut it, and of course I'll show you how to sew on the little berries next. So I took about I would say 26-25 inches of sewing thread, just put a little knot on it, just like I do, well I like to do it, because when you pull it hard enough it comes right out. But what I do is I take the bag, I like to do it on the left side of my bag, and I tilt it a little bit. So I'm just going to sew between the berries. I don't like it that way. I prefer it, the leaves are going this way, like fanning out. So remember, go between, get with your sewing needle and your sewing thread to match, go between the berries. And back through, keeping it between the berries. And then you do this a couple of times to make it nice and sturdy. So just keep on working on it and try not to get any of your little berries, because then it will show with the color of the thread you're using will come out in the berries. Okay, so of course you could redo your thread and sewing needle as much as you feel comfortable in working along to make sure your berry stays on. So what I'm going to do now is actually cut it And I'm going to put little knots in it just to hold it in place a little bit as best as I can. So I'll do that a couple of times and then I'll trim the edge of that, but this is how it looks inside. I just wanted to show you inside. And then this is our final product. So you have actually completed making your cute summer bag. So that's it. We completed making our bag. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Let me know what you think and give me a little thumbs up if you do, and subscribe so that you can keep in touch in other projects that I have coming up. So let me know if you like it, and if you didn't even like it, let me know. But again, I enjoyed doing it and I hope you did too. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.